Hey, what's going on everyone? So I'm sure by now you've seen the videos on the Sauer Spear LT, the newest version of, I believe, the MCX rifle or the Virtus, whatever you want to call it, the Gen 3, I don't know. Pretty cool looking rifle. But I want to talk about the Ambi bolt catch / release. And in fact, SIG was not the first to have an Ambi bolt catch like that. And that's what we're talking about in this video, coming up. So many of these reviewers on the Spear LT are acting like this Ambi bolt release is the newest and greatest idea and nobody's ever thought of that before. Reminds me of something else. Samsung Note. When it first came out, iPhone users were like, that's stupid, it's too big of a phone, why would anybody ever want that? Then a few years later, iPhone released the 6 and the 6 Plus, and then iPhone users are like, wow, that's the greatest idea in the world. Why didn't anybody ever think of that before? And I just thought how stupid it was to hear them say that. So it seems like we're doing that with the Ambi bolt release on the Spear LT. On the counter in front of me here, we have 5 completed AR style rifles and a few projects in the works. All of which either have Ambi bolt releases or will have an Ambi bolt release. And this is the product right here. This is the PDQ from Teal Blue Bravo. It's an Ambi bolt release. I did see a video on it from Tim over on Military Arms channel. That video was about 10 years old at this point. So it's definitely been out quite a while. I'm going to show you a close-up of each of these because each of them are a little bit different on how to go about installing them. And on the very last one, I'm going to show you what I think is possibly even a better design. Kind of makes me wonder why it doesn't exist more. But we're going to save that one for last. We're going to try and go through these quickly so you don't get bored. Okay, so this is the one that we're going to start with. This was my first this style of rifle. This is a Smith & Wesson M&P 15. It did not come like this. The only thing that's original on this is the lower receiver. I have changed out absolutely every other part on it, and that is why I am highly unlikely to ever buy a rifle of this style off the shelf again, but that's for another video. Originally, when I bought the rifle, one of the first things I bought was a Magpul bad lever, which sticks through the trigger guard here so that you can activate it right in here. I didn't really care for it all that much, and when I saw one of these, I definitely had to get it. So what you can do is, when you pull the bolt back, you can push up with your finger and lock the bolt back, and then push down with it and release the bolt. And with the upper separated from the lower, hopefully you'll be able to see now how this falls in line with the DIY theme of my channel. With the PDQ, you actually have to continue the channel for the bolt catch all the way across to the right side. You create a channel out this side so the lever can stick out. You can use a Dremel. That's what I did for this one because this was my very first one. And at that time, I had a lot fewer tools than I have now. I used a little bit of I think it was a Luma Black. It came in like a pen or a marker to get it black again. It probably isn't the prettiest, but I don't really notice it. And I think it turned out just fine, and it wasn't really that difficult to do. And it works great. So after changing out pretty much every part on that first rifle, from then on, I built my own. This is my second build. This is a 7.5-inch SBR. Yes, I do have a tack stamp for both of them. Any SBRs that you see, I do have the proper paperwork for. And you can see that this one has the PDQ as well. So the difference with this one is I did not have to cut this lower receiver. This lower receiver was from Incendia Arms in Tucson, Arizona. I don't think that they are in business anymore. It doesn't seem like it, trying to check their website. But this lower receiver has a channel milled into it already to fit the PDQ. So I didn't have to cut this one. So the next two, I had to do a little bit more than just cut a notch or a channel in the lower receiver. This is a 10.5 inch pistol. Still not sure what I'm gonna have to do with this brace. So this lower is an ATI Omni hybrid. It's a hybrid of polymer and aluminum. And with this one, I did have to continue the channel straight through so that it could fit on this right side. So I also had to grind off some of the inside edge of the PDQ so that the upper and the lower would not interfere. And it was better to shave off part of this steel part rather than some of the polymer, obviously. This one got Cerakoted in a titanium, and it works great. And this one is my 14.5 inch with a pin and welded muzzle device. So this is not an SBR, this is a rifle. And yet again, got another PDQ. So this receiver is from F1 Firearms. I did have to cut the channel through to the right side to fit the PDQ. I also had to grind off the inside edge of the PDQ so it would clear the upper and the lower. This got Cerakoted black. Now the way that I did the cut for this receiver as well as the ATI Omni Hybrid is I used an end mill bit, put it in a drill press, and used a slide vise so that I could essentially turn my drill press into a sort of mill. And that's how I was able to cut these. It was a whole lot easier than trying to use the Dremel, and I think it turned out nicer. So this is one of the builds I've actually had sitting in the safe for several years now. The intent was to build it for the ARAC 21 upper, but they've been out of stock, God, for 5 or 6 years. I mean, it's been quite a while that they've been out of stock. I've contacted Faxon and they say they still make them, but they still have not ever come back in stock. So I think I'm actually gonna go with the 12.5 inch Foxtrot mic upper. I do have a tax stamp for this, but it doesn't really matter since it's not complete. So I still have to mill the channel across to fit the PDQ in here. I'm probably just going to completely disassemble this so that I can Cerakote the receiver. I think I'm gonna Cerakote this FDE and then keep all the controls black on this one, which is a little bit opposite of what I've done on some of my other builds, but kind of on a FDE kick. So, but this is gonna be my DIY project for later. I haven't gotten to it yet, but eventually I'll get to it. This is one of my more recent builds. This is a 9.5 inch 300 blackout. It's my first 300 blackout. Haven't even shot it yet. I built it as a pistol. I did have an SBA3 brace on there. I just took it off just to be safe so that the ATF doesn't get frowny about it. Do I agree with it? Absolutely not. Do I think that it's an infringement? Yes, I do. But I also would not be the one to get put in jail and have to spend thousands of dollars fighting it. Unfortunately, states and the ATF can arbitrarily pass unconstitutional laws faster than they can crawl their way through the court system. Anyway, I digress. So this guy also has an Ambi bolt catch here. This guy is going to be a little bit different from the others. Now, if you are wanting to build one of these pistols or rifles from scratch, this is what I suggest that you go with, unless you do want to mill through the lower receiver and put a PDQ on here. This lower receiver is from Silencer Co. I bought it through Tombstone Tactical. That is my local gun store. They have really good prices, but anyway, this video is not sponsored by them, but I do recommend them. So the lower receiver comes cut for the Ambi bolt catch already, and it also comes with it. This is not technically a PDQ, but it works and looks almost identical. The shape is just a little bit different, but it works great. It looks really good. I really like this lower receiver. It's got nice flared magwell, and I don't remember it being insanely expensive. I think it was like $230 or $240, something like that. But considering it came with the bolt catch, which would be another $60 by itself, I think it was worth getting. It's really nice. I like having Ambi controls on all of my rifles. I have Ambi safety selector, Ambi bolt catch, and Ambi magazine release, because I want to be able to shoot this right-handed or left-handed. But if you're looking for a lower receiver, definitely check out Tombstone Tactical. Unfortunately, I can't put a link to it. And then I said I would show you one more, which does not have a PDQ in it, but I think it's a really cool design and I wanted to show it to you. This is my 6.5 Grendel build. I'm still waiting on a barrel, but have everything else. I'm just waiting on the barrel. This upper and lower is from Falkor Defense. And if you notice, this is the right side and it has what looks like the normal ping pong paddle milled right into it. The downside with going to the PDQ is it doesn't mirror both sides. This does. I think there's another company that does something kind of like this. I don't know if it's Daniel Defense or I have no idea. I don't know which company it does that does it, but I know that there is a company that does something similar to this. However, on the left side here, it's still in the same place. The normal place for the bolt catch is like right in here. You can see that this one is brought back just a little bit, but it mirrors the right side. So they are in the same place on the left and the right. So you can lock the bolt back and release it from the right side. Or the left side. It also has an ambidextrous magazine release. And this receiver set is probably my favorite. Unfortunately, Falkor does not sell them like this anymore. I'm pretty sure that they're Petra rifles. I think they're called the Petra. They still come with this receiver set, but you can't buy this receiver set on its own anymore. It's just a stripped upper and lower, which really wouldn't be stripped because it still has the bolt catch and the magazine catch in there, but you have to put pins in it, safety selector, trigger, and all that stuff. This receiver set was probably one of my more expensive receiver sets. I think it was like $550 for the set, but again, it comes with the bolt catch and the magazine catch in there, so those are a couple of things that you don't have to buy, and a dust cover. And so I guess that's kind of my rant on the Ambi bolt release on the Spear LT. I'm not knocking it by any means. I definitely want one or all five, but I just wanted to show you that it's not the first to come out with it. It looks like a pretty awesome rifle though. A little expensive, but definitely pretty awesome. So check out the PDQ from Teal Blue Bravo if you want to get one to install on your existing rifle or pistol. If you like this video, please give it a like. It lets me know that you guys want to see more firearms related content, or leave a comment below on what you guys think. Do you think that you would want to install one of these into yours? Or do you want to just buy a lower that comes with it ready to go? So let me know. Until next time, we will catch you on the next one. See ya.